All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 141. Got the Wonder and Big Earn here. Say hello, guys.
Hope you're having a good one.
So, I wanted to start with what the hell is going on with Tiger Woods?
Fuck.
He's like all over the place right now, and this is supposedly his third time crashing his car, and it was another bad one.
Yeah, he rolled it over.
Yeah, I know something about that, but still, they caught him with a couple oxy pills in his pocket too, so they don't know yet if he was under the influence or whatnot. But this poor guy, I don't want to say he can't catch a break because he's doing it to himself at this point. But
yeah, I mean, it's looking more and more like he's the moron.
Self-destruct mode.
right, but
And the information that comes out just like gets worse and worse. First they said he refused to take the piss test in the state of Florida.
heard that. Yep,
If you refuse, it's automatic suspension,
yep.
which I think is pretty much the same thing everywhere. But
Mm-hmm.
And from what they're saying, like he refuses to have anybody drive him around because you would think that somebody with that kind of money and whatever kind of issues he's got,
That'd be a good solution.
right? But
The perfect one,
He
you would think.
refuses because he doesn't want anyone to know his business. But I heard somebody like they were talking about how when that time when he was dating Lindsey Vonn, he fired his personal chef because his personal chef knew, like he doesn't want anybody to know his business. But like when you're at that point, like somebody made a good point I heard on the radio the other day where they said, you hire a retired cop as your driver / bodyguard and you have them sign an NDA.
Yeah, well, you could do that with anyone. You could do that with the chef.
Right,
You could do that
right.
with everybody.
Like,
Derek Jeter did that for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they were NDAs, but there was something similar to that.
That's why it makes more and more sense, or makes it look more and more like he's just got some serious issues.
Yeah, he's got some kind of
Like today
serious
they're
illness.
saying that he came out and said that he was looking at his phone and then he went to go change the radio, and when he looked up there was a car stop that he didn't realize.
Well, I mean, yeah, narcotics or opiates alone, are going to impair your drive, and then, if he's also drinking too, that's just,
The thing is,
The recipe
this is
for
not
disaster.
happening at 1 in the morning or 11 o'clock at night. It's happening at 2 in the afternoon.
Right. 100% right. And what's weird to me is, like you said, like, I get you don't want no one to know your business, but there's ways to go about it where you don't have to be driving, like an animal and doing whatever you're doing,
And
too.
listen,
Like,
it can't just be bad luck, and because if he's telling the truth that it's the radio and the phone, then why'd you refuse to piss for the police? So I don't know.
well, listen, I mean, logically, even if he wasn't on drugs at that particular time, I don't know if there's a test that could tell you that you just took something right then and there. I'm sure he's been taking these things for, whether it was the day before or a week before or whatever. Like, there's a test that could say, okay, you haven't had it in a couple months, but maybe he was like, okay, I just took these a day or two ago and I'm going to wind up getting arrested for something I didn't wind up doing. There could be that. Like, I don't want to
Yeah, but
give
if
him a
you're taking
defense.
that stuff, you're not taking it every 2-3 days. You're taking the shit every day.
Pretty much. But,
Which
like,
means he probably took it that morning. So if that's the case, then you shouldn't be freaking driving.
agreed. 100% agree. Those things are. That's why when I had my surgeries, I didn't. Besides like the first day or two, I didn't take them. Like, I just dealt with the pain. I was like, I don't want to try to get addicted to them or anything. Like, I got enough vices on me already with the gambling, the Super Bowl boxes, all this nonsense. So, I don't really want to deal with that. But and it's kind of hard at this point to feel bad for someone when, I think I haven't heard anyone yet from what we've been listening to, or what I should say I've been listening to, like really like get on him yet. As far as like this guy's a scumbag or whatever the case may be, is like that they just want to know what's going on, and like I don't know if they feel bad for him per se, but They're like, this guy needs help.
He's Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you know.
And they know that they're going to give these guys 6,000 chances because of the name and the you know, notoriety they bring, which is nonsense. Because
It kind of reminds me of John Jones a little bit, you know.
yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
just because they're used to, you know, I mean, obviously, to get where they are, you know, you got to be a pretty driven person.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, also it looks like they don't, you know, being told what they can and can't do.
Right. Well, yeah. I think that's always the case with people like that. They don't like to be told what to do anyway. But like, you know, he's got 2 kids. You know, like.
and they're older, so you know they're at an age where, you know,
They can emulate him.
Their peers are not kind at these ages, so they're, you know, making their life miserable because they're probably harassing the crap out of them and teasing
Yeah.
the crap out of them.
And that would be terrible in itself. But not only that, they could also follow in Daddy's footsteps too.
Yeah, well,
Which is even worse. You know what I mean? Than all that other stuff, because that stuff is for, in the grand scheme of things, it's a short period of time. And I know, like, it could go on for a year or 2 while they're in school and all that stuff. But, like, you know, throughout the course of your life, you know, it sucks, you know.
listen, the writing is on the wall that we hear the story a million times that people get injured, they have surgery, then they get addicted to these pain meds, and I'm sure that's what it is with him because of all the surgeries he's had,
Yeah, he's had a few for sure.
and you know, trying to continue to play and compete and all this stuff, you know, so we know what we feel like when we play around the golf, so imagine what he's feeling like after around the golf.
Yeah, I don't know how. You know what? Now that you said that, it almost brings me back to when we had our first trip to Ocean City, and it was like the first time me playing. Like, what was it? 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row? I couldn't remember, but whatever. It was a bunch of days in a row, and I was like, each day, I felt worse and worse, and I'm like, it wasn't waking up early. It wasn't like drinking all night. Like, I'm sure some of that had a little to do with it. But it was actually like just playing 18 holes back to back to back to back. And I was like, by the time we got back especially driving there and back, by the time we got back, I was so shot. I think I needed another 4 days just to recover from that.
Yeah.
And then you got guys that are older.
Was Leash on this trip?
Yes, there was actually the first year. There was a bunch of us. There was like 8 of us.
I know he doesn't like manual labor, so
No, I mean,
wondering how he fared.
He fared okay. Then again, I don't think he played 18 holes every day.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Shout out to Amish.
yeah, of course, the judge. But yeah, I get it. It's just tough, man. That sucks for him. And you know what? I'll you know, never mind. But yeah, moving along. Baseball started, as we all know, last week right after our show. So what do we feel about it? How do we feel?
Yankees 3-1, and where have they given up 3 runs in 4 games?
Yeah.
Complain about that.
Not at all. And the 3 runs are in just the last 2 games. So they had 2 shutouts in the beginning.
Which was crazy because I didn't realize that's the first time in the Yankees' history that they started the season with back-to-back shutouts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Especially for them being around so long, like that's kind of crazy that it's never happened.
Right, and them being the Yankees.
Yeah, no
First
doubt.
time in history to start the season.
Yeah, that's cool. As far as them playing the Giants, I felt like they played well. The bullpen was amazing. Well, I think what I took from this right now is that the Yankees starting pitcher, I know it's early, but they looked really good. I know they didn't go, besides I think Max Fried, I know they didn't go long into the games, which is understandable right now. A lot of people are getting too crazy with the Cam Schlittler game. They're like, oh, he only had 68 pitches. Why are you taking him out in the 6th? Because I think he went 5 1/3 or something like that. But people got to remember, he wasn't built up all the way yet like the other starters were.
And it's his first start of the season.
Correct, but he had the back problem.
Right.
So it took him, I think it was 2 weeks. He started later than everyone else. So that's where those 20 or so pitches came from, because he was on a pitch count of 70. They took him out at 68, and he went into the sixth. That's yeah, would you have liked to get him through the sixth so he got a quality start? But like you said, it's the first game that he's pitching of the year. To me,
and this is more the norm than it's the abnormal nowadays with guys going 5 innings.
Right. Well, listen, I mean, he might be one of those outliers because his stuff is so good. Like, he might get you past the 6th and the 7th most of those days. But once again, he was on a pitch count. It's still, to me, even though on paper it won't be a quality start, it was a quality start. You give up no runs and you dominate. I think he had like 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, he looked great. I watched that entire game. Pretty much I watched the entire weekend of those games. Weird that they had off Friday and Sunday, so I was missing them on Sunday. But that was great, which leads me to the Mets. I watched their game on Sunday. Didn't catch their first 2 games, but they won. Give us, do you have a little rundown on the first 2 games? Because I didn't really have much.
I didn't get to see a whole lot in terms of the games, but I did, I was working during the opener, but I just happened...
Yeah, because that was a 1 o'clock start.
I just happened to see Beatty had a big hit. They knocked around Skeens, which was, hey, that's a good start, right?
Yeah.
The first game of the season. A guy that was pretty much untouched last year.
Not all his fault, though.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And you know what's funny? I forgot, like, that game was on, that was weird too. That game was on Peacock, but then I found out it was also on NBC. So I caught the middle of that game while I was at work. Because I was like, oh, crap. So I turned it on. Yeah. And like you said, Skeens was already out, and they were talking about it. Yeah. That guy, O'Neal Cruz, was misplaying balls out in the outfield.
Yeah, well, he seems to... Yeah, that seems to be a theme for him.
Yeah, like I don't know if he's really an outfielder. Like maybe they should make him a DH or figure out another position for that man. Yeah. Because wasn't he like an infielder that turned to an outfielder? Or am I mistaking him with somebody else, O'Neal Cruz?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yes.
He was, right? Was he a shortstop by chance?
Yes.
But he was terrible at short, right? That's why they tried him out in outfield? Probably. He's probably just bad defensively than all around.
I think he's way too tall to be a middle infielder to begin with. He's a tall dude.
Yeah, he's up there for sure, but...
That's like Judge playing shortstop.
I'll tell you what, I would take Judge at first base.
Oh, that's the corner infield spots, it's okay, but the middle infield,
all right.
Not so much.
Yeah. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
That's all right. And then Saturday, it was a close game. They almost blew it, but new acquisition, Luis Robert, it's a bomb, and hopefully, and he seems to be off to a good start. So hopefully, he can, be a big part of this team, and looking forward to that. I
don't know if you remember this, but remember last year they were going at the trade deadline, they were trying to trade for him?
No, I didn't remember that.
And I was like, they wound up getting Cedric Mullins instead.
Yes.
And I was like, that's another good guy that you could have gotten. I guess they got him on the cheap. I don't remember the deals of the trade.
Yeah,
but I was like, he needs to change the scenery. And I wound up being totally wrong. He just sucked ass.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's saying that now about Luis Roberts, and I think that will hold true over the course of the whole year. Okay. Is he going to go up and down slump-wise? Maybe. Right. More than likely, yes. Yeah. But I think he's a good fit for the Mets.
Doesn't have to be the top guy.
No. I think, and it's perfect. Like, he went from a losing ball club the last handful of years. Right. Like, for him, he's still young enough.
Like you said.
Yeah, perfect. Change the scenery. Boom, bang. Yeah. Get him out there. There's a bunch of good guys on that lineup for the Mets. Yeah, fresh start for sure. He looked good. I saw him running around. He was running around all over the place.
Yes, and then Sunday I didn't see any of the game, but apparently they were in it at the end. They got a little aggressive, didn't work out, but onward they moved to the next series. Which did it start yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Okay, that I didn't see the score on that one.
Yeah, no, they won yesterday. I think they beat the Cardinals yesterday.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I'll double check that in a minute. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, they beat St. Louis 4-2. Right. I got you covered on Sunday's game because there was no Yankee game. I was watching the Met game. and also the Royals Braves game. So I was
Okay.
going back and forth between those
What was
two
that, on
TVs.
MLB or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Yeah, it must have been. The Royals won that game. Don't really care, whatever. But I was watching the Met game, and yeah, it was a tight game. It was like 1-1, I think, most of the game. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the Mets were losing for a little while. They tied it up somewhere in the middle of the game, and then it stayed like that to the end. And you're right, they got too aggressive because I was watching that, and at that point I was going nuts, and I'm not even a Met fan. I'm like, Soto just hits pretty much a double. Lindor is coming from first. He's rounding all the way around. Now, granted, the Pirates were sloppy in the field all weekend,
Right.
but for a younger guy, maybe he's a little bit got a step or two. He's a little bit quicker. Not that Lindor's slow by any means. He's not.
Right.
But he's getting up there in age. Like he might be just running slow from first to second, and then all of a sudden turns it on. And that was really the difference because the outfielder had a crappy throw to the shortstop. Shortstop made a great pick, then throws like a two-hopper to the catcher, offline no less, but the catcher was able to catch it cleanly and tag Lindor in the face. Now, I don't normally have a problem with the aggression there. Like, I'm more of like, if I was a third base coach or a coach in general, I would like that play. But I think that was the bottom of the 8th or something like that? I don't remember what inning it was, but either which way, I think at that point, it was, oh man, what the hell was the score? I'm blanking on the score. Yeah, it was 4-3. And he was the tying run with no outs. And you basically traded that for Soto going on to second. And now, if you hold him up with no outs, you get a ground ball to the right side, you get any kind of fly ball, you tie the game up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you got that first out at home plate. You only got Soto at second, who's not also the fastest runner, so you need a decent hit to get him in. Any hard hit ball right at somebody is not going to make it happen. And that's exactly what happened. They made the next 2 outs and they lost the game where they could easily have tied the game. And I'm almost pretty sure that the next guy hit the ball to the right. It was a ground ball towards in between the first and second base hole. The guy made the play, but they got the out or whatever, but that would have been the perfect ball to score Lindor. He would have been off on contact. The guy would have gave up the run, and you would have tied the game anyway, and you probably would have had extra innings. So I had a little bit of problem with that. Like I said, it's a long season. I like the aggressiveness. What I'm really impressed with the Mets, from what I've been hearing and saw that game and some of the highlights in the other games, is they're like the Toronto Blue Jays of last year. They're taking so many more pitches or fouling off so many more pitches that they're making the pitcher work, which is also what got Paul Skeens in a little bit of trouble in day one. They were all over it. Like, whatever his game plan was, they were all over it. And they were just fouling it off until they made contact. And then obviously O'Neal Cruz was making mental mistakes or dropping the ball, not taking the right path to the ball, whatever the case is.
Yeah, speaking of on Beatty's hit, for some reason the guy was running in, but the ball was clearly way over his head.
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing. It's not the hardest thing in the world to be obviously an outfielder, but you got to know how to judge a fly ball. If you don't know how to judge a fly ball, those things are going to happen all the time. And they're going to find you. It's not like you could hide out there long in the major leagues. Like, those kind of plays are going to find you more often than not. Then we had yesterday, I didn't even know the Mets were playing yesterday, so I didn't get to watch it, but they took care of business against the Cardinals. Even though the Cardinals look like they might have a decent team this year, by the time everything's all said and done, I saw a little bit of them during spring training, and none of the names pop out at you on their team, but I think they're going to be a decent team this year in the Central. And then we have the late game last night with the Yankees. Like I said to you guys earlier, I stayed up till midnight watching it. It was a doozer of a game. It was 1-1. It was really 1-0 the entire game.
Yeah.
Until Ahmed Rosario Great piece of hitting by him. I don't know if you saw it or
I
whatever.
fell asleep, but I did stay awake long enough to see the Yankees challenge and win 5 consecutive ABS challenges, which was awesome. And it was like, it's so, I think it's cool because you actually see like, there was the one that, I don't know if it was Stanton or...
It was Judge. I already know where you're going at. Where it was like a centimeter.
Less than 0.1 of...
Yeah.
Like, these guys, they're that good at seeing these pitches. Like,
Which is impressive. And right now, like, I think the Yankees challenged like 13, and between them all, they got 12 out of 13 correct. The only one they got wrong was the first one that they did in the first game with the Giants, and that was Caballero. He's the only one that got it wrong. So maybe he should not do it until he can prove himself. But everyone else, Wells has been, I think he's 3 for 3 in the catcher's one.
They've had the most challenges in spring training. I'm assuming they probably have the most so far in the regular season. And
yes.
What I liked about it too is like after the 5th straight one yesterday that they won, Boone is still barking at the umpire because he's like, "Come on, man."
You know what I like about it? Because I saw it over the weekend in a bunch of different games too. I saw it in the Met game. Like, it's almost like the touchdown replay in football for these guys. Like, you know, because we don't have anything to compare it to, because the home runs, like when they challenge an actual play, it's different. Like, they still cheer, but you almost get it like everyone goes nuts when you get it correct.
Yeah, and what's cool about it too that I like is that it's basically instant. There's no delay. There's no taking time. It happens.
It takes
right
5
away.
seconds.
Yeah.
Like, the guy taps his hat. Within 5 seconds of that, it's up on the TV, and you're like, "Oh, it's a ball," or "Oh, it's a strike." Amazing. And like, someone asked me the other day, and I would like your thoughts on it. They're like, "Do you think now because of that, are there going to be like just robot umps?"
Well, I mean, I think at some point in time there'll be no need for a home plate umpire. You're still gonna need
The other umpires.
I would think at least a couple of them.
You definitely need at least the line judges, because there's no way, unless you're going to have that same system implemented on the lines. That'd be insane.
Well,
You could.
look at tennis.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Tennis
You could do that. Well, that's why when they raised the question to me, I'm like, if you do that, I think it makes the game longer. I don't think they want to do that, because you saw Judge. He's the perfect example. I watched him in game 1, and he took 2 pitches that were in that zone that we hate, down and away or down and in, and he didn't challenge them. And he wound up striking out. And granted, he hasn't had the best start to the season, obviously, because he's had greater ones. He's not really hitting well. He hit 2 home runs. But one of the 2 home runs that he hit, or I think it was on Saturday, he finally challenged that ball down and away, and he got the call, and it made it 2-0. And then I thought, after everything happened, meaning the next pitch, he hits a home run, and he dents the ambulance out in the outfield, which I thought was dope in itself, right? Yeah. But because of that, like, look at the chain of events. Like, normally he'd get that call to strike, he's in a 1-1 count. Now the pitcher can do whatever he wants with him. He could do that again. He could go up and in. He could go wherever. And now Judge is not in a bad spot because it's only 1-1. But look at the difference between 1-1 and 2-0, and he hits that bomb. I would tell Judge to challenge it all the damn time. If he thinks it's a ball, challenge it. Get yourself in a good position.
I'm sure that plays a part of it too. It's like the count, where the count is at, if they're going to challenge it or not. But
listen, we all know the Yankees use that little Bible of theirs with all the stats and all this nonsense that they have in it that, like, I'm not a particular fan of. So when you said earlier that they challenged a lot of balls in spring training, to me that signals one thing. They were getting ready for the season to use this as a tool for them to be more successful. Whereas other teams might, I'm sure, would be doing it too. Like they all have the same info.
yeah, because that's where we're going.
Right.
We're going because first of all, like, if you really think about it, baseball umpires are full-time employees, right? They're in a union. They're making a shit ton of money. I know it's going to be hard because they're unionized, but
Which is why I think like they're not going to disappear.
well, I mean, in time you got to think that that's what's going to happen. And I mean, even with that Yankee game last night, the fact that the Yankees challenged 5 consecutive and won all 5, to me that tells me, should that guy be behind the plate anymore? Or is there going to be any kind of and I'm sure that's part of the deal where, knowing how unions work, that part of the agreement where they were allowing this ABS system to come into play is that you can't discipline and penalize these guys because of it.
Which is good for now, but once that's like opening up Pandora's box. Once you open that up, things can change, like you said, and it could change rapidly. Like I don't think we'll see it in the next couple of years, but like I wouldn't be surprised
Because trust me, somewhere someone is tracking
everything,
each umpire, and how many times their calls are being challenged and how many times the calls were successful.
I agree. How do you feel about it so far, Wanderer?
Like I said, I haven't really seen a whole lot, so
I'm gonna glue you to my couch, and you're just gonna watch a Mets game. That's what I'm gonna do
We
for
gotta
you.
find out where this is. This is crazy.
Oh, the view?
Holy Jesus.
well, they're in Arizona.
Oh, it's wherever the meetings are. Is that where the meetings
So
are?
it's Arizona.
So it's got to be Arizona. Yeah, it's Arizona because they have like the NFL had meetings the last. I think today's the last day. Like they either finish up tomorrow and fly back, or they're done after today. It was whatever, like owners meetings or whatever. But yeah, but ABS to me is exciting. Like it sucks. Like if they're gonna. I personally don't think that they could get rid of the umpires entirely. Like, I think a hybrid would be great. But, like, what this will be good for is, like, you know how they pick the umps for the playoffs? Like, if you do bad during the regular season, guess who's not going to be on that roster on those playoff games?
But, I mean, it's unfortunately, some things it's good, some things it's bad. But, one of the bad things is that these things are going to be replacing jobs and things that humans are doing. I mean, listen, you listen to some people talking about some significant people. They're saying that in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to go have surgery and there's going to be no surgeon. It's going to be all robotic.
That's crazy. That's insane.
If the robots don't kill us first.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I guess let's worry about that before we worry about a robot digging into my arm or something like that. I wonder if that does happen, if you could say, no, I still want a doctor to do it. Like, will there still be doctors? I mean, there's still going to be doctors around. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a robot. Like, what happens if a robot, like, this is a crazy conversation to have. We're going to have it anyway.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's current events.
Yeah, the power goes down. All of a sudden, the robot's knee deep in your belly and wigs out and like, zzz, and like mixes like
Hospitals have to have emergency power.
So that'll never happen. Nothing like that could ever happen.
I mean, unless there's a total blackout, but those generators don't run off of power; they run off of diesel. So, like we have our own power plants.
Okay.
So if you have to have, for every outlet that you have to have an emergency outlet, and certain pieces of equipment have to be plugged into emergency outlets. So in case anything happens,
it switches right over.
That will never lose
So
power.
it has 2 plugs for the same like system or whatever you're using.
Yeah, and certain things have to be at all times plugged into emergency power, so that in case, because that's stuff that you can't have go down ever.
Right.
So that stuff is plugged into emergency outlets.
And you just have diesel fuel in barrels or somewhere.
We have
Really?
our own power plant.
All right, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Learn
it's a
something
big
every day.
thing.
Yeah.
Every
The more you know.
Did you know that?
No, I haven't.
every month, once a month, they have to do.
A checklist of checking it out.
They have to test it, where they shut the power to the hospital and the generators kick on and run for a certain amount of time, and they have to make sure everything is running properly.
Really? Whose job is that to do? I would like that job.
The
Let's shut the
engineering
system down.
department.
Shut it down. Up. It's not working. What are we gonna do?
Yep. Once a month it happens.
That's crazy. Well, at least that's good to know. Next time I get surgery in a couple of years and
Rest easy.
I got a robot in me, I won't have to worry about it shutting down.
Think about it. How many surgeries are being done robotically?
Right.
Yes, they're being done robotically, and there's a surgeon at a joystick that's doing it. So how much longer is it going to be before the robot does it by itself?
I don't know, but then we're talking about Terminator 2 or something like that, right?
Skynet, yeah.
Right. Then
And
we
then
got
who knows?
Skynet and fuck.
How many years before, there's no more baseball players on the baseball field, and it's
Let's
robots.
not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
What
Do you pay the robots money, or you pay them in oil or whatever they need?
That's the thing.
How does that work?
You don't pay them. It might cost you a few $1,000,000 per robot, but it's better than paying Soto $70 million a year.
Good point.
You
I
can
don't
pay-
know if I'd want to watch that though. You know they had a video game like that, Robot Baseball. Do you remember that? I think that was that on Super Nintendo. I don't know. I used to love that game though because you had all the different robots and everything like that. That was a cool game. I don't know if I'd like that in my living room watching that on TV and I have the New York Yankees and there's 9 robots. Unless like they looked like old baseball players. Like imagine like you had a robot that looked like Babe Ruth and had his attributes and you could see him like just knock dingers all day long. And then we could put to rest if he could really hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would be cool.
I'm sure they could clone them too.
Yeah, you could do that. That would be wild. Now we're just going crazy at this point. I don't know where that went.
We've gone off the
We went from
rails.
ABS to robots to Skynet to someone digging into my belly.
on
That's a
all the
robot.
topics.
Yeah, crazy, insane. So yeah. Now we got that out of the way, baseball and all that stuff. It should be an exciting year. I'm not going to go crazy until June and July for both New York teams. So I'm just going to watch these games. Like I might not even watch this game tonight because Daredevil's on tonight. So that's going to get my focus. We'll talk about that in a few. But I'll check in on it and check the scores and whatever and see what's going on. Giancarlo Stanton is actually pretty hot right now. So that's pretty good.
Update on Tiger Woods. Please not guilty, waives arraignment, and
So he was arrested. Yeah.
request a jury trial.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Well, someone's telling him to do that. That's for sure. He's not doing it on his own. So at least he's got some. Hopefully, he's got some good counsel. I mean, probably the best money can buy. But back to Giancarlo. He can't open up a bag of chips, but he could sure hit a home run.
Fucking guys. You just pray for a full season because I just am so curious as to what he's going to do in a full season.
By full season,
145 games.
okay. You overshot me a little bit. I would say 140.
I'd be happy with 100.
But we're in that range. I'm in agreement. 140 to 145. Like he might have a good year. And as long as he's not out hurt.
Right. If he's relatively healthy and plays 140 to 145 games, I think he will hit 40 home runs, 120 ribbies, and bat 285.
Really? Woof. I'd sign right on the dotted line for that right now.
The guy gets hits every game.
Yeah, he's been really hot. And what's funny is he was dog shit in the beginning of spring training, but like the last week or two, he was coming on, he was getting hot, and he came right into the season. Whereas Judge was the opposite, but like I said, I'm not worried about it.
It's so easy to think of him of the prototypical strikeout or hit a home run, look awful at the plate, more often than not, and he's just not that. Like when you watch him, he's got a good eye. He takes pitches. I don't know. I just every time I watch him, I get more and more impressed. And I mean, listen, we shouldn't be because the guy's been an MVP.
He's hit 59 home runs for Christ's sake.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've always been on his bandwagon, like especially once he came to the Yankees and he showed up in the playoffs a couple years in a row. Like granted, last year he did not, but like the 2 years beforehand he was the majority of the power.
Bad about the guy.
No, and he owns it. That's the thing, right? He's in New York. It's almost like whoever spoke to him about coming to New York was like, listen, just own your shit, don't make excuses, and you're gonna get a pass, and you're just gonna be able to play baseball. Because that's all he's been getting. Is like they might talk about his injuries, this, that, and the other. They might make fun of him, and I get it. It's easy for guys on sport like networks and like radio to poke fun at the guy, but
never comes out, has a bad thing to say about anyone or anything. Never
Nope.
criticizes.
no, never does. Which you could, at the very least, you could respect that out of him, right? Like you respect that, and that at least buys you time to do some things. And dude, when he hit that home run in San Francisco, that ball was like an eagle. It just into the stand. You know, just like Judge as well, but those guys I don't know if there's anyone else that hits the ball harder than those guys in this league. Like some guys might get there every once in a blue moon, but consistently those guys just tear the cover off the ball. I'm like you, I'm excited to see him this whole year. Knock on wood, I hope he stays healthy and they just do the right thing. Like the Yankees, I know they said they ran it back, but the one thing that they did on running it back is they kept their depth. Like they kept all those guys that were good bench players, like Ahmed Rosario, which is why I like that they kept him. You got a bunch of catchers on the bench, you know what I mean? Ben Rice looks good too, even though he's hitting like 2-something, but he looked like he's gonna improve this year as well. Like he's everyone's dark horse to hit 40 home runs. Imagine Ben Rice, Judge, and Stanton hitting 40 home runs this year. Unbelievable. And then what I liked a lot was you got Caballero, who's playing a good shortstop right now. He's fast as hell. You see him and Jazz on the bases over in San Francisco.
That's the one guy that's frustrating me a bit. Is
Jazz?
yeah.
I get it. But you can't deny he has a lot of potential. I think,
Yeah, but he just, I don't know, man. He's just, he's the one guy that, other than, for me, like, obviously you got Judge, but we keep talking about how we pray and hope and just want so badly to see Stanton stay healthy and do well. But for me, Chisholm is that other guy that I just want to see do so well, and it's just like,
he's got to fix his swing.
yeah, I think that's what it is.
If I was the coaches, and I know they don't like to do that and make people uncomfortable, but it might be too late now. It might not be something you could fix in season. And he's ranked the number 2 second baseman in all of baseball, which is crazy. Not that it's crazy, because he put up numbers last year. He was a 30-30 guy.
Yeah.
He hit I think it was like 260, 270, somewhere in there. And he had 86 RBIs. For a second baseman, that's really good. You know what I mean? So he has the potential, but he's the one that we don't like because he's the swing and miss guy.
Right.
He's not going to put the ball in play and try and leg something out, which in conjunction with Volpe should be that same guy too. Like those guys should learn how to just be a Bo Bichette. He's the perfect example. I know he didn't get off to the greatest start over the weekend, but that guy fights off at bats, makes contact, and like puts the ball in play and all that stuff. I think yesterday he got a big hit against St. Louis, as a matter of fact. I saw it on one of the highlights or heard about it, something like that. But like that's what you want to do: make contact, get on base, and create havoc, because that's what was happening when the Yankees tied the game last night. Jazz was on first, and he was stealing. And granted, nothing came of that pitch because Rosario was protecting the plate and he fouled the ball off. But the very next pitch, he goes and he hits the sacrifice fly and they score the run. Like, that's what you want to do. Like, I get everyone's getting away from this small stuff, but when you have tight games like this, if you do that during the regular season, more often than not, you're going to do it in the playoffs, which is what the Yankees have been lacking. So they got to get better with that, and they got to figure out a way to do it. Like Brian Cashman talking about, well, home runs wins people championships. Yeah, it does when someone comes up in a clutch spot and actually hits the home run. But we're not doing that. So find a way to put pressure on the other team and not just lose 3-0 and, get 3 outs with 7 pitches and that starter goes 8 innings and you lose that ball game. Fight the guy off, get him out in the 5th or 6th, and make these people's bullpen work, because that's where you lose is the bullpen. You have a sick bullpen, and you could go all the way back to when the Mets played Kansas City, and Kansas City had the three-headed monster in the bullpen. Those guys were lights out, and we're shutting them down. You know what I mean?
It's almost like they're wanting to turn baseball into basketball, where basketball's completely turned into
Whatever.
3-point barrage.
Right.
Everybody's shooting 50, 60 3-pointers a game, and it's like, oh, you're only going to win if you're hitting home runs.
Right. Correct. 100%. Now, speaking of basketball, our Johnnies lost last week. That was terrible. To be fair, I watched that game, and they didn't look overmatched. They played well. They actually had the lead. I know it was only by 1 at the half.
Well, they led by, if I remember correctly, as much as 9 at one point, if not more. But the thing is Duke kind of matched their intensity on defense, which I did not expect to happen, and the Johnnies defense I thought was gonna be able to disrupt this, what ended up being a clown in the next game, Boozer's game, and they didn't disrupt them as much as I thought they would. Whereas obviously when it mattered, UConn was able to disrupt them with a stupid ass play at the end.
And they made that big 35-foot 3-point shot there.
What a finish, huh?
Right.
Should have never have happened, because all he had to do was hold on to the fucking ball with 4 seconds left.
Yeah, agreed. Tough time for the Johnnies, but it's nice to see them. They were back in the Sweet 16. I really felt they could have won that game. They didn't. So now back to the drawing board next year. I'm sure,
Well, Patino signed his contract extension.
Yep, for another 3 years,
Maybe.
4 years.
Well, I don't know exactly what it was, but I know that it added on to whatever he had left on this current contract. Oh no, I think this was the last year of his contract.
I think it goes to the 2029-2030 season.
Yeah.
So that would be
and it makes him the second highest paid under Hurley.
Right.
Which did you see at the end of the UConn Duke game when Hurley was going crazy as he always does?
Yeah.
And then he put his head up against
the ref. That was crazy.
Yeah, so now that ref is not going to be able to ref the Final Four.
Really?
Which is to me is nonsense, because to me it's making it seem like you're punishing him because you don't want him to ref negatively towards UConn, but what are you doing to Hurley, who's obviously a fucking lunatic on the sidelines?
Yeah.
And he's the one that went up to the ref
Correct.
and did that. But they didn't do anything to him.
Did those guys, I guess, did he do that? Because I saw it.
I haven't looked into it at all, or tried to find any reason as to why he did it. I mean, I just assumed he did it out of, emotion and what was going on. But I just happened to notice today on the ESPN app that the guy is not going to ref the Final Four. They pulled him from the Final Four.
That's a shame. Not cool. What are you gonna do? When is the Final Four? Is it this Friday?
No, I think it's
Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay, so the 2 games are Saturday. The championship's on Monday.
I think so.
Yeah, that's to be it.
Because I think the women's Final Four is Friday
And then
probably
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, well, good luck to whatever teams are left. I haven't won
It's,
anything.
Arizona, Michigan, Connecticut, and who's the other one?
You said Michigan, right? Illinois.
Illinois. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
I only know that because I lost to Steve. We were going up against each other in the bracket, and I had Iowa, and he had Illinois, and he beat me by like 10 points.
It's actually funny that you brought that up. My friend Oscar, he had St. John's. I didn't watch the game. I passed out early Sunday, but I saw that he just wrote in a group text with him and another friend of mine, and he wrote what a choke or something like that. And then I just wrote, not not knowing anything about the game or whatever, I said, please forgive them. They didn't know they were playing for you. And, but then after I saw the highlight, I couldn't believe it, and I said, you know what happened? God knows that you're a Carolina fan, and because he is a Carolina fan, so that's why that it shook out that way.
Oh, that's funny, dude. That's great. Man.
What a finish, though.
Really,
insane.
It was a good week of sports.
As Ernie said, like, what are you doing there, guy?
Right. All I had to do was hold on to the ball. But you know what? I saw an interview with him. He owned it too. Yeah. He was like, "We lost because of me."
And listen, man, how nuts would it have been if, the Johnnies held on and beat Duke, and they would have met UConn yet again for the fourth time.
That's what everyone wanted.
Final Four.
That's what everyone wanted. That's why That's why I watched the game on Friday, and it was so close until the very end, and I was just like,
and it's sad because of what could have been, right? Because
yeah.
you would like to assume that Johnnies,
would
pretty much have UConn's number this year, especially the way they beat them in the Big East Championship.
Right.
What could have been.
Well, there's always next year, right, folks?
Yeah, and we know Mr. Rapoli's going to be dumping even probably more money into NIL deals than he did this year. So.
I'm okay with it. It's not my money. That's what I always say. It's not my money. The guy wants to spend his money, buddy. Enjoy. Have fun with it. You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Did you catch up on Paradise?
Well, before we switch over, we do have to mention, unfortunately, I just found out that fucking Italy lost again today and did not qualify for the third fucking straight World Cup.
Oh,
man.
To Bosnia and Herzegovina, or whatever the fucking country is called.
Jesus.
They lost in fucking penalty shootouts. God.
Oof. No way. And you know what, too? It was funny. Ramon was just telling me about that on Sunday. The game was today?
Yeah,
just now?
They just lost.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Mofos, man.
Well, looks like I can't wear my Italia hat for a little while.
What a disgrace. 3 World Cups in a row, they don't fucking qualify.
And that's a huge deal. They used to be in it all the time. Unbelievable. What are they doing over there?
I don't fucking know, man.
Oh, you guys and your soccer. That's great.
My family must be like
crying,
going nuts because nobody's even talking about it on our
your group chat.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe they don't know about it yet.
Well, they must know because I'm sure they were all watching, and I texted, and nobody responded except for my brother. In the story, sends a picture that he's actually in his Ferrari, and there's a Jeep behind him with 2 guys holding the flag of the country that beat them.
No way.
Yeah, and one guy holding the flag out the window, the other guy giving him the finger.
Wow. Only in New York, huh? Right? Where would you think you'd get a flag like that, let alone be behind a Ferrari
Right.
with the flag? Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yeah.
But Paradise.
Over.
Yeah, so I saw the last episode. It was the one where oh my God, refresh my memory now.
Did you watch last night's episode?
Oh no. So I didn't finish it.
No, you got one more. You got last night's episode.
Oh, okay.
And it's wild. I'll tell you that. I'll end it right there. We'll talk about it next week. It's wild. Wild. And there's a 3rd season coming out next year. Wild. Unbelievable. Next. I talked to you about Bass Reeves, right? I finished that. That was cool. It was a nice little ending. 6 episodes or 8 episodes. Good little Western. I know we talked about this probably either last week or the week before with this Tyler Sheridan thing. Because the only reason why I would talk about that is because I'm going to equate it into the next show that I just finished, which was The Madison with Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that about?
It wasn't what I expected, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's only 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Limited,
and another Tyler Sheridan.
100%. This is why.
His name is.
Yeah, Tyler Sheridan. You're 100% right. and it was it said too, and I made sure I paid attention to these episodes this time because all these other shows I don't really pay attention. He created this show. So now it brings us back to like when we talked about it before. Does he just buy them from people and then have someone write a script or whatever, just gets the story? But this is more of like a family drama show, but it's quick. Like there's enough going on.
I mean, really, when you think about it, Yellowstone was a family drama show too, right? And then, of course, last week after all that talk we did about it, it's like one of the first commercials I see is they're coming out with oh Jesus Christ! Now I'm gonna forget his name. The
Marshalls?
No.
Oh.
The other one. What was the sister's husband's name?
Rip.
Rip what? Rip. What was his last name?
I don't know. It was just Rip.
Because now there's a new show coming out with Rip and
there's
her, and it's whatever his last name was, Ranch. Oh my God.
Dutton?
Dutton Ranch.
Yeah.
No, Dutton was their last name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Dutton Ranch.
Yeah, because they remember, at the end of Yellowstone, they take over a small piece of his land.
Right.
So they probably sell off the rest. I think that's what will end up happening, and they keep their little ranch. And I guess they still call it the Dutton Ranch. When is that coming out? Soon?
I guess I saw a commercial.
Because they're pumping these out. Like, and not for nothing, Michelle Pfeiffer in the show. Because I don't want, like, Kurt Russell was good in it too, but Michelle Pfeiffer, great in this show.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She's a good actress. She's always been a good actress.
Yeah, she's fantastic in this.
And I gotta tell you, I'm liking how all these old time actors are like pumping out all these shows.
TV shows,
like
yeah.
Kurt Russell's on how many shows right now?
Yeah.
It's like
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I don't know.
And Harrison Ford's doing it too. You got all these people
I
doing it.
appreciate that for some reason. I don't know. I really enjoy that.
Listen, I don't think you're the only one. To be fair.
Right, and that's why they're getting all
Yeah.
these gigs.
I mean, you know what I think is they're too old to do the movies unless they're like not a crazy movie. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not, with all this wokeness and shit going on in Hollywood, I'm not the hugest fan of Harrison Ford, but like, especially this season and Shrinking,
Yeah.
I think he's great. I mean, to me, I've spoken to people who think that show is awful and refuse to watch it. To me, it's nothing but another version of Ted Lasso. It's
I agree with
like,
you.
Like you laugh and just feel good watching that show.
For the most part, like there's some sad things that happen to it.
But it's a feel good show.
Agreed. I agree with you, and I think the people, like you said, they have a problem with some of the actors in it being like outside of their acting being like woke and all that stuff, and maybe that's why they don't watch it. Like I don't know.
But I don't. Even with like sports, like I'm watching sports to watch
Sports.
the athletes play the game.
Correct.
I don't give a fuck what they're doing. They can do whatever they want. I don't have to buy
Agreed.
into it, but.
Agreed, but that's the problem. Some people can't do that.
Yeah.
Some people just say, you know what, I'm not going to watch this anymore because they stand for X, Y, and Z or whatever. Meanwhile,
Although I do have to admit, like I saw something on ESPN today where, now everything that's being talked about is where is LeBron going to go next year, and one of the things was talking about what has to happen for him to be a Knick. If he were to be a Knick next season, I might not watch a game.
I don't think that's going to happen, so you don't have to worry about it. I think what's going to happen is once the Knicks lose in the playoffs and don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals at least, or at least the finals, they're going to wind up getting, what's the guy's name on the Milwaukee Bucks?
Giannis.
Giannis, there you go. I think they're going to go after him hardcore. And they're going to trade a bunch of people to make it work or whatever, and this, that, and the other thing. So I don't think you have to worry about that. At least I hope you don't. That's one of the stupidest things I've...
Go finish your career in Cleveland again.
Correct. Like, go play a year.
For the third time.
Right. And I don't even think he wants to play anymore either, so who knows, like...
Oh, no, that mofo wants to play till he's 50.
Really?
Oh, one of my favorite things in the world right now is listening to Craig Carton and bash on LeBron. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite things in the world.
If you guys have Netflix,
Yeah, there you go.
Where?
Hopefully you missed
There you go.
Second world. Fucking bums.
Bosnia,
Bums.
you gotta get over there and shake it up. Something's gotta happen.
First former champion to not qualify for 3 consecutive World Cups. That's a disgrace.
Sure is.
Disgrace.
Sure
Anyways,
is.
go ahead. Sorry.
It's all good. I watched the movie Anaconda with Paul Rudd.
The old movie?
And no, so they made
with Ice Cube?
yeah. Well, Ice Cube's in it. If that helps, but no, they made a new movie with Jack Black and Paul Rudd and some other
The
knuckleheads.
same concept though?
Kind of. It's more of a comedy,
Well, I mean, it was pretty funny. The first
Yeah, it
one was
was
pretty
funny.
funny.
right? But now it's meant to be funny.
Okay.
Um,
right, it's just a straight up comedy.
Yeah, so dude, it's an hour and a half of mindless nonsense, but it was funny at times. And then they did what other movies do. They had their cameos from the original Anaconda and all that stuff. So it was kind of funny. So it was cool. It wasn't bad. And then last but not least, did you see Daredevil?
I have not.
You're driving me nuts.
I still gotta see, like, I'm behind on Daredevil. I still gotta see, like, the first, like the original show. Like, I still have, like, I think a season left of that. And then I can get to the Born Again.
Oh my God, you're killing me right
Anyway, how's the new one?
now. Well, it's only been one episode, but it
Okay.
was
It was
fantastic.
incredible, yeah.
Yes, and like nothing super crazy has happened yet, but you could tell they're building to something. But it's good. It's really really good how they do it, and he's just great, dude. The guy that played he never needs another job. Like I don't know how much he's getting paid by Marvel.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Also, in Boardwalk Empire.
He's in there?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh. Well, do you know if he's in it the whole time or probably not, right?
I don't know if I would say the whole time, but he's in it for a bit.
Okay. But like does he in season 1 is he in it?
I'm not sure. to be
Okay.
honest.
Because I started watching that.
Okay.
But I'm only 4 episodes in because there was a lot to watch this past week.
Oh, you started.
I started.
Nice.
I started 4 I'm 4 episodes in the first season.
All right.
That's why I asked that because I was like I didn't see him and normally I could pick people out. And
Right.
that's an old show so
Yeah.
like
No,
he
you'll
might
s-
look really young.
No, you'll see him when he.
Yeah.
You won't miss. it.
No. That's why I asked. I'm like, I normally don't miss that, but he probably just didn't show up yet, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire. It started off a little slow,
Yeah.
but
it can be slow at parts.
yeah, but like, I just chalk it up to, like, it's the start of the show, so you got to
Right.
build people, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah.
So it's good so far. I'm looking forward to. It's tough the next couple days to watch it, but I'm looking forward to the weekend and knocking off some more episodes.
Nice.
Hopefully, I'll
Yeah.
be done.
Watching a chunk of it.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about waiting week to week with it, but I would like to watch like the whole first season by the end of this week. So I think there's 10 or 11 episodes, so
Okay.
it's doable. 6
Yeah, you're
episodes.
about almost halfway.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about it. And that's pretty much all I got for right now. You took care of the shrinking. I did the Madison. You got anything that you were watching?
I gotta be honest. I haven't really been watching much. I think I'm like an episode behind on DTF. I always forget the name of the rest of that. It's like a city or something.
St. Louis?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, sir. So yeah, I'm like an episode behind on that, and I think I'm an episode behind on Rooster. And I don't think I really watched anything else, to be honest.
Did you, sorry I had to step away.
That's all good.
Did you say you started Boardwalk Empire?
I did. Well, I'm only 4 episodes in because I was watching the baseball games and then I had a couple movies.
What are you thinking?
So far, it's taken a little bit of time, but it's good. Like I like the storyline so far of it. Like they're like old school gangsters, and they're doing like the bootlegging and all that stuff. But like I said, I'm only 4 episodes in. I told Wander, I was like, I want to be done with season 1 by like the end of this week or weekend, I should say, because you know.
And how great is Buscemi? It's like
He's great. He's great. Right from jump, he's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and like nothing. To me, it's like an old school Soprano. So like they're building to it. So I get you got to like hang in there for a little bit. And I'm only 4 episodes in, so like I'm getting there. Like I have a feeling like it's gonna hit the corner soon, and then I'm gonna be like, it's awesome.
That might have to be on my list of shows to rewatch. It was that good.
It was that good, huh? Well, I'm seeing it for the first time. So far, so good. I'm happy with it, and I'm gonna stick with it. It's just got so many things to watch right now. This is like peak season for all these shows coming out.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, I don't know, for me, like lately with work and everything, it's like whatever you can squeeze in, you squeeze in. But like lately, just, you know, relaxing and you know, whatever, just relaxing and trying to just do multiple things at the same time. I've been watching, because it happened to come up on the Fire Stick one day, so I've been watching episodes of Cheers lately, which, man, that was such a good show too, man.
Back in the day, that's a back in the day show. What are you gonna tell us next? You're watching Frasier?
I enjoyed the shit out of the new Frasier that came out, but I don't think they're doing it anymore. I don't know why. I thought it was good, but Frasier was another great show, bro.
I never watched much of it.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, no. Frasier was a very good show.
Too much stuff to watch. That's what it is. I can't.
Infinite content.
That's you know, back in the day when the show was on every week and they did 26 episodes a season and ran for 10, 11 seasons. You know, those are.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And were those half-hour shows?
Yeah.
I know Cheers was. Yeah.
And like on the Fire Stick, when you're watching them without commercials and stuff, they're literally like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, which is good. To just like you could bang out like 3 or 4 in a night. You know, that's what I'm doing with Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
And that's another show that I keep saying, because you hear nothing but great things about it, and I keep saying I gotta watch, and
you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff that they do. So basically, it reminds me of. Oh man, it reminds me of a dirtier version of Seinfeld. Now keep in mind, I didn't watch a lot of Seinfeld, but it's basically that same concept. But they do some ridiculous stuff in there. And the first season's really short. I think it's like 6 or 7 episodes. I might have said this before, but Danny DeVito comes in the second season. Once he does, it's like you're just on autopilot.
Oh, he wasn't in the first season?
No, and you could tell the difference too. At least for me, because it's on Hulu. So the first season, I guess it was so long ago that it's not the whole TV screen. It's like fitted. You know what I mean? I don't even know what that's called, but it's like that different aspect.
The format.
Yeah. But then once they go to the second season, it's the whole widescreen, and you see Danny DeVito's like in the first episode. And I'm like, okay, great. You know what I mean? Because the first season for me wasn't really funny.
Have you seen the one where they try and break Wade Boggs' record?
That was phenomenal. I just saw it last week.
That's a great episode.
Phenomenal. Oh my God, that was great. Don't even ruin it for this guy. Don't. But he's got a long way to go, because that's like, I want to say that's season 9 or something like that. Because I think I'm on season 10.
I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a bunch.
Yeah, and that's another good thing too. You can skip around because there's no real storyline for the whole. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much. Are you watching Daredevil before we go? Are you watching Daredevil?
I saw the first episode.
Last week?
Yeah.
Okay, because the second one's on tonight. So you're caught up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And what'd you think?
Doesn't disappoint.
Okay, good. That's the only thing I wanted out of you for today before we go. Wander, wrap it up, buddy.
We got the musical selection this week. Some of my favorite medicine. We're going with Mad Lib with Sound Ancestors. That's the pick for this week.
All right, folks. A lot we got through today. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Enjoy this nice weather while it lasts. Hopefully, it's here to stay.
Yeah, hopefully.
And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Happy
Take
Easter.
Care. Take care. Happy Easter.
Oh, that's right. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.